At ease, brothers. You want to talk about a game changer, brothers? We must learn to fall in love with the pain of sacrifice, man. We must learn to fall in love with the pain of sacrifice, bro. Like when I say this is a game changer, man, like it's an understatement. A man that understands this will evolve until the day he dies. Will evolve until the day he dies, man. Falling in love with the pain of sacrifice. Why is this important? So what say you? You have to understand, man, this is what separates the tiers. This is what separates the levels that men find themselves on. In other words, what I mean is, if you just look back, as far as you can look back in life, I don't care if it's going back to Little League football, right? The thing that separates the levels of success is a person falling in love with the pain of getting to the next level. Like there's a pain barrier there. That's the only thing that separates the tiers is the pain. In other words, a person that has a six pack, I'll say it like that. A person that has a six pack, man or woman, the only difference between them and a person that's overweight is their willingness to endure the pain. I mean, yeah, there may be some genetic issues in there, but overall, generally speaking, it's their ability to say, you know what? I know what separates me from getting there, and it's the pain. And I'm going to have to fall in love with it to cross these vast waters. It's simply falling in love with the pain, man. Even financially speaking. The difference between somebody that's making this six-figure mark and somebody that's making $45,000, $50,000, it's not necessarily about a level of genius. You know what I'm saying? Most people that hit a lot high levels, no, not say most, a lot of people that hit high levels of success are people that are dropped out of school, people that have no college degrees. So it's not about some scholastic, you know what I'm saying? It's about a person willing to endure the pain. It's about a person willing to say, you know what? Okay, you know what? I'm going to sacrifice going out to the clubs. I'm going to sacrifice the drinking and the party and all this stuff. And I'm going to study something. I'm going to hone in on a craft of mine. I'm going to make every attempt to perfect it while everybody else is out having fun. I'm going to fall in love with the pain of this sacrifice. It's the game changer, man. It makes me think about back in the days, bro, when one of my best friends, Lane Kid, shout out to brother Kid. It makes me remember we were teenagers, man. It makes me think about when Lane came home from the military one time, man. Lane would call me 3:00 in the morning sometimes, man. He'd be in Japan. He'd be all over the place. And one time Lane came home and said, bro, you got to join the military. And at that point in my life, I was like, nah, man, I'm doing my thing. I'm doing whatever. And what he was ultimately saying was, I mean, of course he was saying join the military, but what he was saying was, you got to get the hell out of here, man. You got to get the hell out of here. Long story short, man, I guess it was a year or two later. I'm not sure how far away it was. I joined the military, and I remember this. I remember, man, living my best life. Living in Georgia, stationed at Fort Stewart. You know, I'm riding motorcycles down the beach in Florida. I'm spending time up in Hilton Head. Life was good. And I can remember going home back to East Texas, and I could see what Lane saw. I could see all my old friends, and I could see exactly what Brother Kid saw. And I said to myself, man, what's keeping them here? Like, why are they staying here? Like there's nothing really here but possible jail time, lack of opportunity. Like, why are they here? And it comes down to what I'm saying, man. It comes down to, like, you have to understand, the threshold is the pain, the sacrifice. That's the threshold between the levels. So in other words, when a person is saying, I don't want to leave my hometown, what they're saying is, I don't want to sacrifice the pain of leaving my family. I don't want to sacrifice the pain of having to go through boot camp, or sacrifice the pain of having to try to find another job or go through some kind of training or do a number of things. It's a pain point. Like that's what keeps people in their comfort zone. That's what keeps people from elevating. So the why, man, the why is because the reason why a man must fall in love with the pain is because that's what separates him from the next level. That's the only thing keeping you from the next level in all walks of life. We can talk financial, health, and all this other stuff, but in all walks of life, it's that pain threshold, man. So I'm saying we must fall in love with that pain. Once we fall in love with that pain, brother, think about the power we're embracing. Think about what we're really embracing when we say, you know what, I don't care what it takes to get to the next level, whatever it takes, I'm about that life. Embracing the pain of it, bro. How does a man do that? How does a man fall in love with the pain of sacrifice? I'll say this, man. And to be honest, I don't see but one way to do it. He must learn to live from the other side of that pain. He must train himself to live from the other side of it. You know what I'm saying? In other words, he must submerge himself in his vision. Let's go there since we've been talking about vision, brothers. He must submerge himself in his vision. You know, I was thinking about some what I heard David Goggins say one time, brother. And I remember Goggins was talking about going through Navy SEAL training. And he was saying something like, he was like, yeah, man, you know, I'm in these cold waters, man, and I'm shaking and I'm ready to quit. And then he said, man, you know what? The way I got past that was, you know, I would look at the leaders. I'm not sure what they call the leaders in that training. He said, I would look at the leaders, man, and they would be up there, man, and they in coats and they warm and they dry. And he said, what I would do is put myself in that situation. In other words, I understand that when this whole water training is over, I'll be back on the beach. I'll be warm again. So what he said, man, I put myself in that situation. And think about what takes place when a man puts himself in the future vision, puts himself in the vision, right? It changes his thoughts, it changes his actions, it changes his behaviors, which changes his reality. It changes his reality. So that's what you must do. That's what we must do as men. We must submerge ourselves in the vision, man. We must put ourselves on the other side of that pain. Put yourself on the other side of that pain. Man, and you know, again, it applies to all situations. All situations. I remember when I talk about these things all the time. I remember when I was going to school. I remember when I was doing all these things. It takes pain. Looking back, it's 2020, bro. It's 2020. So all you have to do, man, is put yourself on the other side of it. Whether you're trying to, hey, I'm trying to get out of this job, man. I'm trying to get this CDL so I can get behind this wheel and get on this road. Put yourself on the other side of it. Put yourself on the other side of it. I'm trying to lose these last 30, 40, 50, 100 pounds. Put yourself on the other side of it, man, and watch your thoughts, actions, and behaviors change, bro. Watch it change, man. I remember saying my niece, man. Let me tell you this. All my nieces and nephews, brother, they just phenomenal. They just, when I say knocking life out, brother, all of them are just phenomenal, man. Y'all heard me talk about my nephew Jalen all the time. But I think about, I have a niece named Kaylee, man. And she's, brother, she when I say somebody who's already dominating life, bro, I see her going through this process all the time. You know, as an uncle, I'll just sit back and watch, and I see her going through this process. She went from, you know, finishing school. She went from sacrificing, you know, being a personal trainer and doing all this other stuff and going through nursing school. Then she relocated to Dallas. Now she's getting a bigger degree. I sit back and watch, man, and I can see the writing on the wall. I say it's the pain that separates all levels of success. All levels of success is the pain, man. So what I'm saying is, brothers, we must train ourselves to run to the pain. We must train ourselves to run to the pain. What do you mean, soul? I'll say it like this. Common men, and y'all see them all around. Common men are those that retreat from the pain. In other words, common men will see the path that needs to be traveled, that they will see the prize on the other side. You know what I'm saying? But due to their, I don't know, fear, due to their whatever it is, they'll find any in every other way to retreat, to divert, to do something different, or to put up an excuse on why it couldn't happen. Don't be a man that retreats, man. Run to the pain, brothers. Most men are retreating from the pain. And those that aren't retreating from the pain are complaining about the pain. In other words, instead of running backwards or forward, they just want to sit there and complain and whine and point the finger on why the world is not fair. I shouldn't have to endure the pain because it should just be given to me, is what they're really saying. Woe is me. Don't be like these men. Like understand this, bro. Understand that this is the only deciding factor. You getting to that next level, the only deciding factor, man, is you being able to endure that pain. And I'm saying that the only way that you can enduring it is to fall in love with it. Fall in love with it. Fall in love with that pain, brothers.